Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we're looking at Puss in Boots and the Last Wish. This movie, it's been out for a little bit, and I finally got the chance to see it, and I have no words. It is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, animated film I have seen in a long, long time. And it made me cry. And I'll get to why in a second, because I'd have to go into spoilers for why, but let's just talk about the film itself first. So, this movie is the sequel to Puss in Boots, which was a spin-off from Shrek. I didn't really care for the first movie that much. It was alright. I thought it was fun for what it was, but this movie trumps everything in the Shrek franchise. So, the visuals are fantastic. DreamWorks clearly took a page out of Sony's book for Into the Spider-Verse, and the film looks great. It's colorful, it's energized, the designs are so goddamn wonderful. It's just 10 out of 10 for the visuals. Like, DreamWorks really upped their game with this and The Bad Guys as well. Like, 2022, great visual year for them. Now, the story is, of course, about Puss, and he's on his last life. And he doesn't treat it any differently from the previous. That is until he meets a wolf, and Puss gets into a fight with this wolf and loses. And Puss, thinking that this might be his end, he runs. He runs away and retires. Albeit a really good joke, being a fucking crazy cat lady house. It's a really good joke, and it's legitimately funny. So, but Puss is retired, and months go by. I'm assuming it doesn't really show how long it goes by. But then suddenly, Goldilocks and the three bears break into the cat lady's home, and they're looking for Puss because they want to hire him to steal the map to the wishing star, the Last Wish, from Jack Horner. I don't really know who Jack Horner was. I knew he was a fairy tale character, but I didn't really know who he was. But if you don't know, he's the kid who sticks his thumb in the pie. He sticks his thumb in pies. And there's a good visual joke with Horner. His thumb is just stained permanently purple. It's a legitimately good joke. But, but Puss hears about this last wish, and he thinks, oh, I can wish my lives back. I can come out of retirement. So Puss sends on this adventure, along with a chihuahua he meets at the cat lady's home, there's a bit of a joke where, like, he doesn't have a name throughout the film, so they call him Perrito. And eventually that's, like, spoiler, that's the name he chooses in the end. So, and Perrito is a very good character to have for this kind of movie. Because, as I'll get to in a second, it really helps balance out the theme, which is mortality. And how, like, we're all gonna face this guy eventually. We're gonna face the Cloaked Man, the Grim Reaper. And Puss tries to run from it. But yeah, so Perrito is a great character to have to offset it. And the fact that he is a dog really also helps, because dogs really do help with a lot of issues, and like that's why therapy dogs exist. I mean, personally, I love both cats and dogs. They both help for me, so But yeah, so he goes and tries to get the map from Jack, and that's when he runs into his old friend and flame, Kitty Softpaws. And the two of them decide to set out to get the star for both of them. And yeah, that's the plot of the movie. Now, the B plot follows Goldilocks, and how she wants the star because, she wants to get a real family, and the bears are hurt by this, but they still love her, and they try to help her get it. And in the end, she chooses not to make the wish. Again, we're going to go into spoilers now about the ending, and more importantly, why the part of the movie that made me cry. But we'll go into the spoilers at the end for the ending. So, in the end, they discover they all get what they want somehow without needing to make the wish. Kitty's wish was to get someone she could finally trust, and she does that and gets Puss. Perrito just wants a family, and he gets that with Kitty and Puss. Goldie gets her wish of having a family, which are the bears, of course. And Jack, he doesn't really get his wish because Jack is technically the villain of the movie. And he's a very good villain at that. I think what makes the perfect antagonist is that they have to both be intimidating and hilarious. My favorite villain in any animated movie, Hades from Hercules, balances that intimidation and humor out perfectly. So I got text. And that doesn't matter. But yeah, Hades balances out humor and intimidation perfectly. And Jack, yeah, he's really good at that. Now, so the part where I cried is again towards the end, where they're at the star and Death comes in, and Puss has nowhere to go. So, but he finally decides to face Death down. And the part where I cried is when Death gives Puss his sword back and tells him to pick it up. It flashes through Puss's lives, and I started tearing up. And of course Puss grabs it and they fight. And Puss actually fends Death off. And he explicitly states that they'll meet again, but he's not going down without a fight. And it caused me to tear up because, well, I felt the same. I felt like I was never able to run from my anxieties, my fears of mortality, my social anxiety. It's all something that I have tried to run from. And this movie made me realize that, well, there is no running from it, but you should never give up the fight. It made me look at my life differently. It gave me a booster shot of confidence, if you will. Because I'll admit, I have not felt the best recently, which is kind of why I take huge breaks in uploading schedule. As well, I don't really know how to feel sometimes. But this movie helped me realize that you should live your best life. Live the way you want. And to not think about these horrible things. You shouldn't need to think about it. Yes, it's going to come for us, but that shouldn't impact the way you live. And it made me cry. And it's beautiful. In fact, I'm tearing up now just talking about it. And yeah, you're probably watching this thing, it's super dorky, but it's how I feel, and I feel like it felt therapeutic to me. And it's funny that this is a movie about a cute little kitty cat going on an adventure, and because cats they're one of my favorite animals ever. I love cats. I have 5 of them. They're all adorable. And in the way it hits me even harder. But the cat thing is more of a personal thing to me. But yeah, all in all, this movie is fucking phenomenal. It's 10 out of 10. I'm just gonna say it. Bloodbag gets a 100%. I don't care. This is one of the greatest animated films I've seen in a long, long time. And it's up there with the only other films that have made me cry, which are Toy Story's, I think, yeah, definitely Toy Story 3, and I think 4 as well. And it's so good. If you've not seen this film yet, give it a watch. It's fantastic. Definitely DreamWorks at the top of their game, and I hope they keep making more movies of this quality. So yeah, that's my review of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I'll say this before I go, it definitely made Disney scared of their mortality, as they announced 3 sequels that are, well, 2 of which are most likely going to flop hard. But that's a story for another day. A legend for another day. And probably 2029, I don't know. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.